Well, welcome back. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee. And you know, on February the 28th, the Literary Freedom Project, they're going to be holding a Black History Month lesson plan workshop. And joining us with all the details, we have Executive Director Ron Kavanaugh.
Hey,
Ron?
how you doing? Thank you so much.
Sounds like a food name. Would you say a food restaurant? Kavanaugh?
Caviar.
Caviar, yeah.
I've heard it all.
You've heard it all, right?
I've heard it all.
Hey, as long as you're living, you're
There
going to
you
hear
go.
it. It's a
That's a
beautiful
good
thing.
thing.
We welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much.
Tell us some of the things that you're working on.
So the Literary Freedom Project, what we do, we develop literary programs here in the Bronx. We are one of the co-presenters of the Bronx Book Fair in May, but we also do workshops throughout the Bronx.
Okay.
And we partner with the Laundromat Project to start doing workshops in their space. So this Wednesday, we're going to have our first workshop there on Black History Month.
In the laundromat.
The laundromat, it's not going to be in a laundromat.
It's a program.
But it's actually a program that sets up different art activities in laundromats.
Oh, it definitely opens up the mind.
Yeah, yeah, and it also invites families in, because that's where families spend like a lot of their Saturdays or evenings.
I got you,
But they also have an office in the Bronx on 920 Kelly Street, and that's where our workshop will be. And the whole idea is really professional development, giving educators better tools, lessons, curriculum on how to just infuse different kind of aspects of Black culture and Black identity into their daily curriculums and lesson plans.
Because it's not really taught properly
It
in
is-
our public school
Yeah,
system.
it's not taught. Oftentimes the teachers, we rely on the teachers and the educators and the parents to kind of do that leadership in this area. So every month we all get excited, it's Black History, but then the rest of the year, the rest of the 9 months, there's nothing going on.
Black history is all year.
Yeah, it's every day. So
It's
what
every day.
so what we try to do is develop lesson plans and workshops that actually go throughout the year, but focus on different subjects, bringing literature and education all around Black identity and social studies into the classroom.
And you do this, you invite schools or teachers?
Teachers. So it's mainly for teachers and parents. So it is what we call
And parents are teachers.
Right, exactly. So it's what we call professional development, which is usually for educators. We aim at the junior high school and high school level. So our lesson plans are kind of developed for that sector of teenagers and teachers who teach young adults.
Yeah, I like that junior high school level because the students are you still mold them.
Yeah.
You know, once you get into high school,
Right.
yeah, like all
They're
right,
kind
I know
of set.
more or less, yeah.
But you know, also the good thing is, or the challenge is that junior high school age when kids kind of start, they want their independence,
Yeah.
and parents are more than happy so that these kids that have been latched onto their legs for 13 years are suddenly independent, but they stop reading or they read less.
That's the adolescent stage.
Right, exactly. They read less or they read differently.
Yeah.
So now everybody's reading on their mobile devices. They're only grabbing snippets of information instead of books of information.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to offer challenge to that. It's easy to kind of just sit back and not think that our history is important. But this is what defines us. This is what kind of sets us on this path through America. Without each history, without Black history, Latino history, Greek history, however you look at it, that's all American history.
Right.
So I'm trying to kind of set a path and a sector focused on Black
And
history.
how do you choose your literature? How do you choose the books? The
Rec-
teachers?
Yeah. Recently, we've been really affected by Black Lives Matter. So a lot of what we've been doing is based around that movement. Right. So we've done lesson plans specifically on Black Lives Matter. The current workshop that will happen this Wednesday at the Laundromat Project is focused on the book The Fire This Time and The Fire Next Time. The Fire Next Time was by James Baldwin, and The Fire This Time is by Jesmyn Ward. They're both books of essays, they're both anthologies, so we're really trying to give, again, educators and parents different ways to kind of bring Black history, but also Black identity into the home or the classroom.
And I like that you're getting the parents involved, because the parents need to be more involved in education. At a time, the adolescent stage is like, oh, mom, leave me alone, dad, leave me alone. You know, don't come to the school, okay?
Right, exactly. So we're trying to kind of build something that kind of balances that, where we understand that whole adolescent stage is just set. There's nothing, it was set from when we were young.
That's right.
It's going to be the same now, but we're still trying to give parents and again teachers different tools that wherever they see an opening, wherever they see an option, to just try to insert something about Black culture, Black history, social studies, which is much broader than just Black identity.
Yeah. What can you say about literature being used to empower? A lot, right?
You know, everything we are, all of our knowledge, everything that we've gained, the reason you are here, the reason I am here, is because of information that was in a book. Whether it is a nonfiction book, whether it is a textbook, whether it is a fiction book. Sure, we love the idea of people passing on stories to us in a verbal sense, but we really need people to read. We really need people to be informed by the text that has been written before them, that will influence them, and hopefully that person will then influence others. So books are just so important to who we are, but they're also important to who we can become. So, you know, if you read a book about Tokyo or Africa, even if you read a comic book and it mentions Wakanda in it, that can kind of open up who you are and what you might become.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Everything.
Did you see the movie yet?
I saw it once, and I'm going to see it again this Thursday. I loved it. There's already people developing curriculum around the movie.
Yeah, you can see it in 3 different formats.
Yeah.
Was it IMAX?
I saw it in IMAX.
You saw it in IMAX?
They
said that's, you can see regular
thing.
IMAX, and what's the other one?
There's 3D IMAX, 2D IMAX, and this regular, just pay your money. But it was a great film. It's a great film.
And it's a record breaker.
It's a record, I think $700 million.
$700 million for the second week, right?
That's crazy.
Like
That's crazy. But again, even Black Panther, you know, so often we see our kids reading comic books. That's a starting point. Connect that Black Panther comic book and movie to the actual Black Panthers. Introduce something from that history that connects to the Black Panther movie. We have to find ways to just keep books and information and learning really important in the lives of adolescents.
What message did you see in the movie Black Panther?
Unity, you know, innovation, the whole idea that this Black narrative that that you and I have grown up with was a false narrative, has always been a false narrative, but we've never had the means to kind of, until recently really, the means to kind of counter that narrative. So we always picture Africans as just like poor people who for some reason can't lift themselves up. But if you look at Nigeria is leading the way in all technology, particularly cellular technology. You know, it's really amazing what's happening like Nigeria and Ghana and Northern Africa. It's just like America, it's just a mix of inputs. But here in America, we only get the best. When America reflects Africa, we only see the worst. So hopefully.
Well, I went out there with a group of African Americans. We went to South Africa.
Okay.
And we had a debate. There was a group of South Africans and a group of African Americans, and they were telling how each saw each other. Well, you see us as, you know, what you see on National Geographic with the animals and all that stuff. And you see us as lazy, being lazy African Americans, and Right. So where can we go for more information on what you're doing?
Just go to our website, mosaicmagazine.org.
I like it.
All the information is there.
mosaicmagazine.org.
Yeah.
Give him a big hand, everybody. Ron Kavanaugh, Executive Director, Literary Freedom Project.
Thank you so much.
Come back again,
Thank
all
you,
right?
I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good, very good. All right. Thank you so much. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more next.